Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Comms by Kemp Outside. We're your inside source for outdoor comms. And last time, guys, I told you all the reasons why I strongly dislike the VGC VR N76. Today I'm going to tell you all the reasons why I absolutely love the VR N76. And guys, I hope you're having a little bit of fun with this series, right? Because in truth, guys, I have never found a radio that I like absolutely everything, right? There's always something to improve on in a radio, and this is the first iteration of this handheld from VGC or Radiotity or BTEC or whoever you're getting the version from. And there's a lot to like about it and a lot that I don't like about it. And guys, I covered what I don't like about this radio. So if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check that out. I'm going to put a link right up here where you can check out all the things I don't like or that causes me to dislike this radio. And there are a number of things that are kind of big ticket issues with me on this. And I've struggled with this radio, to be honest, from time to time. But I keep coming back to it. And the reason I keep coming back to it are the things I'm going to talk about in this video. So let's get into it. These are all the things I love about the VGC VR N76. Okay guys, so right off the bat, the first thing I absolutely love about this radio is that it is waterproof and submersible. It's got an IP67 water rating, and guys, I love that. I am an outdoor enthusiast. I camp, I hike, I fish, I boat. I spend a lot of time on the water. I spend a lot of time outside. I would hunt more if I had the opportunity. Hunting in Florida just isn't as fun for me as I'm from the Midwest. And so I prefer to hunt when it's cold, and it just never gets cold enough here to hunt. So I just don't have a whole lot of interest in hunting in Florida. But if I lived back in the Midwest, you know, I would definitely have this out when I'm hunting and that kind of thing. I spend a lot of time outside, and I need a weatherproof radio. And I have a lot of really nice handheld radios that I get nervous about exposing to the elements. And one thing I don't worry about is exposing this to the elements. This thing is a tough radio. So I absolutely love the IP67 rating. I love that it's waterproof. I love that it's submersible. Guys, this thing is awesome. The second thing I love about it is that it comes in a variety of colors if you get it from VGC, right? And so this is the high vis. I think they call this green. I think it's yellow. But whatever you want to call this, right? It is high vis. And again, when I'm in the field, you know, if for some reason I think this thing is clipped to my pack and it's not, and I've got to backtrack to find it, I don't want to have to go hunt down an all black radio or even a coyote tan or desert tan radio that's sitting in the dirt that I'm never going to see if I walk by it. I want radios that are high vis so that I can see them in the field. And VGC has a whole lot of different color options for this radio, and so I really like that. The third thing I like about the radio is that it beacons APRS. How cool is that, right? There are not a lot of handhelds that beacon APRS with a full KISS TNC, right? This radio has that. The other handhelds that have that are in a much higher price class than this radio. This radio is a sub $200 radio. So I think that's a huge plus, right? Is that for those of us who enjoy APRS or even have a love-hate relationship with APRS like me, there's a lot of times, I mean, I love APRS. I just wish that there were APRS digipeaters in a lot of the places I like to go when I'm out in the woods, right? Because I would love to be able to use this for position reports, but there's a lot of places where my signal just isn't getting picked up. So I've actually considered creating a digipeater for the campground that's connected to a Starlink to upload positions. So stay tuned for that. I might build that eventually on this channel. I've kind of looked into that. I thought that would be kind of fun. But the bottom line is that I love to have a radio that beacons APRS. I think that's super cool. The next reason why I like this radio is that it has 3 power levels. So it has a low, medium, and a high. And they advertise this radio as a 7-watt radio. I wasn't getting that on the meter, but you know, that's pretty common. It's pretty common to not hit the actual number they advertise. But I was getting into the low 6s, right? So that's good. Sometimes high 5s, but low 6s. For power transmit. So I do like having 3 power settings so that I can adjust that to save battery life. The next thing I love about it, guys, is the battery life. This thing has a honking battery on the radio. Let's see if I can pop this off. So it says it is a 2600 milliamp hour battery, but I have to say, guys, this battery has lasted a long time between charges, so that's really good. And then also, it is right there, USB-C, so you don't have to have a cradle for it. You can just connect it to any USB-C charger and you are good to go, which is awesome because I can charge it in my camper, I can charge it in my car, I can charge it here at the house really easily. I've got USB-C cords all over the place. The next thing I love about this radio, guys, is that, you know, it does have a GPS and you can send SMS text messages with your location, which is pretty cool from this radio. I haven't actually done that yet, but I've watched some YouTube tutorials on it, and I just need someone to send them to, right? But I do want to test that out at some point in time. Maybe I'll create a video on that, but I do love that. And then also, guys, I love the screen and the display, right? What an awesome, easy to read display. I love the yellow. I just think that is a killer looking radio screen. And that always wasn't the case, guys. They used red for a while, which is really hard to see in sunlight. And I do like the yellow. I know some people would prefer it to be white. I don't have a dog in that fight. If the next firmware update changes that yellow to white, that's fine with me, but I do like the bright colors on the screen. I think it looks really, really good. The next thing I like about it, guys, is that you can program this top button to be a second band PTT, right? So you can have the top one be your top band and the second one be your bottom band. I really like having two PTTs on a radio because I just think that's a really easy way to operate on both bands. So I really like that. And then also, guys, let's talk about what this radio receives and transmits on. So for receive and transmit, we're talking about 136 to 174 megahertz. So in VHF, so that's the ham band. Also, MERS frequencies are in there and marine VHF. So, guys, I program all that stuff into my radio because in a pinch, I don't care, you know, how I call for help or respond to a call for help. I'm going to use the radio, and I love to scan that stuff and monitor it, right? So, I use this on my boat to APRS my position when I'm out boating, right? And so I use one of the bands to monitor marine VHF channel 16. Now I have a marine VHF radio on the boat, but oftentimes if I want to monitor too, sometimes I'm monitoring marine VHF channel 9 as well. So I'll have channel 16 on my main marine VHF radio, and I'll have channel 9 on this radio just monitoring, as well as beaconing my position with APRS. So I like that a lot. In the UHF band, it transmits and receives from 400 to 470 megahertz. That is the UHF 70 centimeter band for ham radio, as well as FRS and GMRS frequencies there. So also it will pull in NOAA weather radio, so which is in the 162 megahertz portion of the VHF band. So lots of stuff it transmits and receives. You don't want to transmit on those NOAA frequencies, by the way, guys. Those should just be received, but just to mention it. Also, in receive only mode, it receives the AM air band from 108 to 136 megahertz, and then it receives 88 to 108 megahertz FM, which is your radio broadcast bands, and then it will also receive from 350 to 520 megahertz. So that covers just a lot of different stuff in that spectrum that you can go ahead and listen to. So it does have a pretty wide receive. Now there are radios out there that are wider, and we're getting more and more stuff all the time now. Radios are coming out with being able to receive the military aircraft bands in the 230 megahertz range, I think, or so, right around there. So there's some things that this doesn't receive that I wish it did. I wish it monitored the 1.25 meter ham band, the 222 to 225 megahertz, and it would be even awesome if it was a tri-band radio and transmitted on those frequencies. That would make it even better, but maybe in a new iteration of the radio they can add that. Other things that I like about the radio is the app control for Android, right? The Apple app control sucks. I covered that in the things I don't like about the radio, but On Android, these things are really cool, and the app interface is awesome. And I think it's only going to get better as new iterations of this radio come out and they're able to do more and more things. So that's just a really, really cool thing, I think, is the app integration and the app control of the radio. Another thing that it has, right, is seamless integration of Bluetooth. And this is something that I don't use personally, at least right now, but it is definitely something that I think I'm going to get into more and more, is the idea of having a wireless Bluetooth headset with boom mic that I can use to communicate without having, you know, loud audio coming over the radio speaker itself. I can get it just to my ear and respond that way. So I do like the idea to be wireless there. And then it does have a Bluetooth microphone that you can purchase for the radio. It's a little bit pricier than I want, but you know, hey, if you're looking for that kind of thing, it is definitely available and would be ideal in a, you know, vehicle setup, you know, or if you want to put this in a car, maybe with a little mag mount antenna on the roof where you can beacon APRS and use it as a dual band radio. That is a pretty sweet system that you can have there. So I do like the Bluetooth integration. So guys, there's a whole lot to like about this radio, and I could probably go on and on, but those are the big things that I really like about this radio, guys. And as I said before, I think this is only going to get better, right? So VGC or Vero has their mobile version of this radio, and it's like the original one was like the VR 7500, I think is what it's called. And they just released the 7600, which is the new iteration of that radio, and it has some really, really cool features that the original one didn't have. And so I'm really, really looking forward to the second generation of this radio, because I'm hoping that some of the things that I dislike about the radio, or I think could be made better, will be updated in the future. So guys, those are all the things I love about the VGC VR N76. And as you can see, there's a lot to like about this sub $200 radio, guys. If you're looking for a radio that has a lot of capability, has a lot of the capability of the big boys out there, but for a half or a third or even a quarter of the price, right? Guys, like I've said this before, I think this could be, or maybe even is, a Kenwood killer, right? Because that Kenwood handheld is $750. And I don't know about you, but that is not in my price range. Now, if Kenwood would love to send one to me for review on this channel, I would be happy to receive it. And I would probably sing the praises of that radio. It looks pretty awesome, but it's just not in my price range. And so something like this is a pretty sweet alternative, even though it may have a few less features or do things a little clunky sometimes. This thing is an awesome radio. So guys, I'm Kevin, and this has been Comms by Kemp Outside. We're your inside source for outdoor comms. If you have any questions about the VGC VR N76, drop some in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you love this radio, tell me why. Tell me why you love this radio, or if you don't like it, right? Or there are things that you would like to see change for the next iteration. Put those in the comments as well. I would love to see what you guys think about this radio. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are really raving about this radio. And for me, I admit my experience with this radio has been a mixed bag, and it's mostly, you know, around the fact that I'm an Apple user and the app for Apple sucks. But other than that, guys, this is, I think, a really, really cool radio, as I've said many, many times. So let me know what you think. Or guys, you can connect with me on my other social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X. You can always engage with our posts there. Or you can connect with us at our website at kempoutside.com. Guys, I want to thank you for watching and camping out with me here at Comms by Kemp Outside. This is a brand new YouTube channel focused on outdoor comms, satellite communications, radio communications, Meshtastic, all kinds of outdoor comms and tech gadgets to help you stay in communication when you're doing your outdoor activities. We're going to be doing POTA activations. We're going to be doing HF stuff. We've got a whole lot of stuff planned for this channel, and we're just getting started. So if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up on this video, hit that subscribe and ring that little bell icon that notifies you when I release new videos so you won't miss a thing here at Comms by Kemp Outside. And if you love outdoor content, camping, hiking, fishing, head on over to my main YouTube channel, Kemp Outside, to check out all of our camping, hiking, and fishing content over there. Guys, I'm Kevin, and this has been Comms by Kemp Outside. Thanks for watching. We'll see you outside.